You ever notice how just one trip can destroy months of personal progress? Well, instead of starting back at square one, let's talk about how you can stay disciplined even while you travel. You need to set clear non-negotiable habits to outline exactly what you cannot afford to miss. Now this could be journaling, this could be content creating, this could be staying in the gym, but there has to be a couple of things that you will not miss no matter what. Now it's important to remember that anything you make a non-negotiable, you cannot be overly ambitious about. You cannot set yourself up for failure by making goals that are too high to achieve in a landscape that you just can't fulfill them. Keep the list short and realistic, because discipline is more about following through with your promises than it is about being perfect all the time. You want to create a morning routine anchor, which is a couple of productive activities every single morning, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, that help anchor yourself even while you're traveling. You want to remind yourself that even though you're away from home, your discipline still matters and your routine still matters, and that taking care of yourself in these positive activities will build and enrich your life in a way you can't even imagine. For my morning anchor routine, I like to read for a little bit, get some exercise, and then respond to any important emails right before eating a healthy meal to start my day. Now it may seem simple, but it's super important to use your calendar, even loosely. This is because often when we travel, we just go with the flow. But the problem is going with the flow will mean doing the easiest, fun things only, and the important, hard, difficult, stressful things will just fall to the wayside. So by going through your trip and blocking out each day the times and places in which you're going to do a couple of positive habits for yourself will make a massive difference. This is why burnout happens so easily when you travel, is because you're constantly moving, there's always new things that are being presented to you, but the things that actually matter that make all the difference are being forgotten. Traveling disrupts time awareness, and so as you move around and you get busy in your day-to-day, you're not going to have that self-awareness to realize when you need to do the things that are important for you. So a simple calendar reminder, a simple note on your phone will help you keep track of what you should be doing. That way you don't burn out so easily. Because burning out while you travel is super common, and that's because you're not taking care of yourself. You're just focused on what's in front of you instead of looking at the overall goal while you're abroad. A little bit of planning will go a long way to helping you stay accountable, and while it won't be perfect, I promise it will make a large difference in how your experience is while you're abroad. You need to set limits on how much you can indulge. Start to establish some boundaries around how much you drink, how much you eat, how much you party, because you want to enjoy, but you don't want to spiral. You want to leverage the 2-day rule, which means you can never skip a habit 2 days in a row. If your goal is to read while you're traveling abroad, it's okay if you missed reading today, but you cannot miss reading tomorrow. This allows for some flexibility in that kind of unpredictable travel environment, but it helps you stay consistent with the things that you're focused on long term. It also helps defeat that all or nothing thinking we often fall victim to. We think just because we fell off track once that, all right, for the rest of the trip, I can just go crazy. This kind of thinking gets you nowhere. In fact, it should be, I messed up, and the first thing I should do is rectify it and get back on track. Because you will slip up, it's inevitable, but how you react to that is completely in your control. Now, in times like these where you do feel like you're falling a little bit behind, there is something you can do, and that's creating a micro habit. Now, a micro habit takes your full goal and breaks it down to a smaller piece for days you may not have the energy or the time to actually follow through with what you promised. If you wanted to write 5 pages in a journal, just write a couple of sentences. If you're going to do a full workout every single day, just do some push-ups. I promise you the consistency matters much, much more than the intensity. Doing one thing deeply once in a while will never win against doing something every single day, even just a little bit. It is incredibly important to leverage your environment. It is easy to fall behind when we love where we are, and it may not be conducive to the goals we're actually working towards. If you know there's some work you really need to get done, instead of staying inside all the time, actually go out, go to a cafe, go to a co-working space, and get some deep work done. Your environment does matter, and the one you're in right now may not be setting yourself up for success. Even something as simple as a day pass at an actual gym really refreshed my entire brain. So if you're having trouble staying disciplined while you travel, change your immediate environment and go somewhere that's conducive to the goals you actually want to accomplish. It is optimal if those around you are also engaging in the same activity as you are and are equally as focused on what you're doing. That's why getting work done at a cafe or a library is so much easier than at home on your couch. There is no temptation, and everyone around you is equally focused on what they're doing themselves. Remind yourself daily why you're staying disciplined. Is it for clarity? Are you focused on growth? Is there a specific goal in mind? By pinpointing exactly what that reason is, it'll help you stay consistent even on your worst days. You absolutely have to track your progress. It's very easy to get lost in the day-to-day and feel like you're getting nowhere. When you're climbing a mountain of self-discipline, it's important to remember how far you've come and not get lost in the moment. You are so much further along than you realize, but if you don't keep track, you won't actually feel that growth and that progress. That's why bodybuilders day by day won't look very different, but month by month, year by year have an insane transformation. You have to document your progress as you go, or else you'll just fall off track. Now, if you haven't set any digital limits, you are doing something completely wrong. First, turn off notifications for any random or unnecessary apps that just don't matter at all. Then set time limits in your settings for each app that you find completely distracting. And finally, keep an eye on your overall screen time. The goal of every app on the App Store is to steal as much of your attention as possible. And you didn't come all this way to stare at your phone the whole trip. So learn to set some digital boundaries and free yourself from this damn little box. I promise you there is so much more to see in the world around you. Do not expect perfection, instead expect commitment. You will slip, and that's totally fine. But when you do, don't say, I'll get back to it when I get back home. Instead, get back to it right now. You are far more capable than you give yourself credit for. And I promise, if something truly matters to you, you'll find the space and time to get it done, no matter where you are. But it doesn't mean being some perfect superhuman, it just means committing to a goal and following through with your promises. If you like this video and you found it useful, please press the subscribe button. It's completely free, and there will be many more videos coming soon. Thank you for watching.